You're watching Hellbent Holler live. Hello, hello. Welcome to Hellbent Holler Live. Let us know you can see us and hear us, and we'll get started with the show. We are back in the studio today. Let's make sure you guys can hear us, and we will roll. We have a huge, perfect. Thank you, Rissel, very much for that. We have quite a group in the chat tonight. The usual suspects, along with a few new faces I can see. I want to welcome you all to Hellbent Holler Live. I almost said Hellbent Halloween.
I found myself wishing people happy Halloween, like unironically, just doing it with all seriousness. So,
but we're glad to be back in the studio. And back on the regular schedule here of our live stream and our live show. It's nice to be back on familiar territory, I guess. But this is our weekly live show that we do at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, where we have a free-form discussion with you, the audience, and we talk about planned subjects where we'll kind of go into a deep dive on different things. And sometimes we just wing it and just talk to the audience, and you guys kind of steer the conversation. And sometimes we're going to discuss one of our releases and some of the crazy evidence that we've captured in one of these releases.
We usually start off with a plan. It doesn't usually stay in place very long.
Yeah.
So,
little housekeeping to get out of the way before we get into this. Today we are going to actually discuss shadow figures and kind of discuss that. So if you guys have an encounter with one of those that you kind of want to talk about in the chat, I can read your comments about that. And you can kind of throw some stuff out there, some theories, experiences you may have had, and maybe your theories on what we dealt with in our video that we released on Halloween night, Ghosts of Appalachia, where it appeared to be a shadow figure. First of all, you saw a shadow figure in the doorway, and then we captured what appears to be a shadow figure moving between me and the camera. I actually have that clip queued up for us to check out in depth today, as well as a what?
I'll get to it in a second. So.
As well as a frame by frame still situation where we can kind of go through that frame by frame and check that out. The lighting is just devilish tonight, isn't it?
I figured we'd go with I almost turned the white lights up, and then I was like,
no,
screw it, let's roll that. No, I was laughing because I just got a wave of text messages like all at once.
Okay.
Our friend Katie just texted us both, and it like broke the flood dam. And I was looking at my texts that I just got. I just got a bunch of texts, and then I see that the Stitch Witch, the Dooster, has hurt himself
again.
Yes, again. I'm not going to go into his personal business here. I don't know what all Stitch Witch has said about him, but damn, Dooster. All right,
you're gonna have to take it easy.
Yeah. We've been out of touch with everybody the past like couple of weeks, just between post-storm disaster, being out for a bunch during Halloween and whatnot. So Dewey, damn buddy, we need to take up a fund to get Dewey like a human-sized hamster ball that he can just roll around.
You're gonna make Dewey the boy in the bubble?
Boy in the bubble. Dee can feed him through a little slot in it. So a couple quick housekeeping things here.
Oh, yeah. So LW Marshall, where are you, my boy?
Thank you for that, sir. My money is on Joe sir. Not being a city boy.
Well, let's not.
I read.
Let's not get too crazy.
I freaking heard that, and I'm just like, city boy, is he talking about me? And then I'm going, well, if it's.
I've got that queued up too, so we'll get into that.
We'll get to that. Like,
I do want to.
Thank you for that, Like and Claw. We appreciate it. So.
Oh, thank you, Like and Claw. Awesome. LW said something down here, and I've lost it. Here it is. I've found it. Soon we'll all be reunited in Lexington for CryptidCon. I want to mention CryptidCon because that is coming up. That is coming up soon. It is the 22nd and the 23rd. Am I pulling that out of nowhere? That's in Lexington, Kentucky. We will be there with bells on. We're so excited to go. We're so excited to meet up.
23rd and 24th.
23rd and 24th of this month. We're so excited to meet all of you and hang out with you guys. We're going to actually have a little table. We're going to set up shop there. And we're going to just be hanging out and having a good time all weekend. It's going to be a blast. CryptidCon is always one of our favorite events that we do and that we attend. We attended many years ago when it was in Frankfort, Kentucky. And that was one of the funnest weekends, I think, on record. And I think that probably pushed us in the direction that we've gone in now, where we decided to actually do this.
Yes.
CryptidCon was integral to that decision, and that was just such a what a wonderful time we had. So we're gonna have a blast every year. We make tons of new memories, and that's what it's for. It's everybody to hang out, be around like-minded people, and just have a good time. You know, a lot of times when we talk about cryptids, we talk about the paranormal, hauntings, aliens, UFOs, anything like that. When we talk about that stuff to the normal people in our lives, they're not very receptive to it. I've been laughed at, I've been made fun of. But when you go somewhere like CryptidCon, where everybody's all together, and we're talking thousands of people, you have that electric energy in the air, and you are just around people who get it. So I think we're all excited to dive into that and go and do that.
And if you're one of the hellbenders and you were going, if you're somebody who subscribes to the channel, you're active in the chats and everything like that, let us know you're coming beforehand. So we just want to know who all is going to be there as far as like people who are into Hellbent Holler.
Yeah.
So.
And we want to kind of rendezvous and we'll be, you know, it's a whirlwind. As soon as you get there, it is a whirlwind. So you're going to have a blast, but we want to rendezvous with everybody, figure out who on the Hellbender, what are we, a cult at this point? An army?
I guess so, yeah.
A contingent. Find out who of the Hellbender contingent cult army is going to be up there and hanging out. Just let us know if you're coming. That way we can kind of keep an eye out for you. You'll be able to find Joe and I think.
Yes.
It's the tallest man in cryptozoology and
the best looking man in cryptozoology. So a couple quick other Lady Wolf, member for 12 months.
Thank you.
Love for hellbending. So
She's been on staff for a while.
she's been on staff for a while. Ken Larson just joined the membership. Welcome to the membership.
Ken.
We got some cool stuff coming up. Scott's Life, thank you for that. Greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Robert Lutz says we need some City Boy merchandise. He said we're actually looking at trying to.
I can talk about this.
This is just us, just like blowharding for the first few minutes. We're not even talking anything of substance. Just how great we are.
Well,
what an amazing show so far. This is my favorite one. So we're looking into doing something. Here's the problem.
Get it, Joe.
The time is the problem for us to do merchandise, but we know people want merchandise. We could use the cash for cool stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Or to pay for StreamYard.
Our Christmas, to play for StreamYard, which just doubled the freaking price for us. It's just that the investigations take up a ton of time, and then the evidence review afterwards, and we still are just now getting everything. Just takes longer to do than it did before the storm. Our phones barely work half the time. A lot of times we don't have internet. Power's been very consistent, thankfully. Knock on wood. Probably just jinxed that. But we're going to look and see about trying to get some things up available for order from people, especially the things that happen. Like if you guys remember, like what was it, Skintpecker Ranch that we did?
Skintpecker Ranch
was a big thing for a few weeks, and everybody wanted Skintpecker Ranch stuff. So we're looking at some stuff.
We're looking at possible, ways we can get merchandise out in a quick and timely manner that won't bog us down on stuff, but we'll still have exclusive stuff that we'll do on our end. This is all a work in progress. There's only 2 of us here. The cats are no help whatsoever.
No damn help at all,
we're gonna hammer this out. But with what we're looking at right now, if we have a joke and we have something funny
joke merch,
we all jump in on and it really resonates with us, I can make a graphic and we can have t-shirts out in the next couple of days. So that would be the goal for this and what we're looking at doing. So keep your eyes out, stay tuned, all that good stuff. And
so there we go. So obviously we had a big week for releases for Halloween. We had 2 investigation videos come out. The second one that we released on Halloween night is obviously the most impactful because of the evidence we were able to capture.
Yeah.
The first one was extremely creepy, and we caught some really good audio evidence of something I don't know. But the second one is the one that really just kind of floored us with what we were able to capture. And we talked a little bit about it on the Halloween after show, but that was mostly just to kind of palaver with people. It was Halloween. Everybody was in a Halloween festive mood. So we hope you guys have all had a chance to watch that now and kind of digest what we captured.
If not, I do have.
Jesse's got a couple clips.
I do have a couple of. I have the clip of the shadow figure. That's what I figured we would focus on primarily, but we can talk about other aspects of Ghosts of Appalachia because that was like just an onslaught and such a variety of evidence that we gathered during that investigation. Some of which we didn't know we gathered until we got home and looked at it, and some of which we didn't know we had until the night before we released the video. But
Bristol had mentioned Hellbent Holler morale patches. I mean, I'm afraid to order anything from D. Dewey's gonna like fall into the stitching machine and end up with like Hellbent Hollers stitched into his forehead. So
we'll put him to work just walking around with the logo on it. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So, but anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you. That just jumped out and at me. So you've got those audio clips. So now these were captured at the old homestead that we investigated.
Yes.
And we kind of talked about this on the Halloween show, but the complexity and the importance of that investigation didn't really dawn on us until like afterwards, because at the time I saw that shadow figure, but I didn't catch anything on camera for it. I didn't think at that time. And we had captured like a few things on our shotgun mic, but we weren't 100% positive of what we got at the time. So when we left out of there, we were going, man, we were really jumpy. If we didn't catch anything, then I don't know why this place made us so jumpy. And then when we got back and we were able to review the audio evidence, we captured the stuff that we got. We heard it. We were able to like listen to it. We were able to analyze where we were at that moment and compare it to what the audio recorders were picking up. And it was wild. Like in one point, actually, we picked up what sounds like a conversation between a man and a woman. And when we looked at the video footage, we were nowhere near that recorder, but we didn't even really include it because we were going,
there's a possibility.
There's a slight possibility
that our voices could have traveled
Yeah.
that distance, but
it didn't sound like us, but we couldn't, we both looked at each other and we were like, compared to the other stuff we caught, which we know it wasn't us.
Yeah.
We're not going to even include it because we don't know. But the other stuff we got was crazy. And then Jesse uploaded the video that came out on the 30th, October 30th on Devil's Night. And when it uploaded, for some reason, there was a lag in some of the audio. And people told us about it afterwards. We were in the woods. We did a brief live stream, talked about it, the video that had just launched. So when we got home, and that was like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
We put the video that was launching the night of the 31st, the Halloween release, on the widescreen and just sat there glued to it on our widescreen TV, watching our mouths, making sure that the audio was synced up with like our lips moving. And that's when we saw that shadow figure. And literally it was so quick at first, you could have blinked and missed it. And I think that's what happened. And when we saw it, we were like, oh my Lord, we've got to go by frame. And then I'm just going, it's kind of what I saw. Like a dispersed version. It wasn't quite as thick as what I saw. What I saw was like thick black static, like in the shape of a person.
Now, what's bizarre about that is you described what you saw to me in more detail when we were back here.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, was it in the shape of a person? We kind of discussed that because when we're there and in it, I don't think I asked for any details. I was trying to make sure you were okay during that whole thing. And I asked you, I said, well, was it in the shape of a person? You were like, yeah, but it was like a black static. And I said, boy, do I have something to show you.
Yeah.
Because I showed him frame by frame what this looks like. And it looks just like black static.
Black static in the shape of a person going very quickly. And what's crazy is that it goes between Jesse and the camera.
Yeah.
And there's no corresponding shadow on the wall. It's wild, man. I don't know. We watched that at this point probably 100 times at this point. And I'm just going, when you were like going, we maybe we caught a shadow figure.
Yeah. We
caught a shadow figure on camera. We caught what I saw earlier and what multiple people have seen. There's just no video evidence of it. And, you see stuff out of the corner of your eye and it might be something, it might not be. You never know. You can never know for certain. I know for certain that what I saw full on, I had a headlamp on, the headlamp's hitting it. It's not a shadow. The light just didn't, I don't know. It's weird. It's like it's soaked the light up. The light went around it. I don't know. It's bizarre. But then catching that afterwards, I'm just going, all right, I know 100%. I'm 100% certain I saw what I saw.
Yeah.
I saw what I saw. I can't second guess it. Because I like to second guess stuff. I'll go, well, maybe this is,
you second guess literally everything.
Well, it's because I don't want to ever fall into the trap of just being so sure about anything that we can't prove. And right now, I'm just going, we caught a shadow figure, if you want to call it. We were calling it Black Static Man, but that sounded like a superhero almost.
Black Static
Man, But we caught a shadow person, a shadow being, whatever you
I think so
it.
too. I think somebody's asking about my sweater. It says wolves. There you go.
Wolves. Actually, hold on. I had a comment right as you did that. Show the shirt again.
Wait, what?
I had a comment. Sorry. Bad timing. Wolves.
There you go. All right. So I got some stuff marked on there, and then we'll take a look at that footage, and we can kind of take a moment. We'll see the clip from the actual video, and then I actually have the frame by frame stills of the whole thing. So we can take a look at that and we'll be able to kind of commentate as we go through that. You've not seen, I showed you the one still. You didn't see like each frame by frame. So. Okay. So you guys get to enjoy this together. But I'm going to pull that up if you've got anything. I know. Yeah, I saw that. Poor Dewey. Dewey, we all thinking about you, my brother. We were thinking about you. All right, I'm gonna pull that up if you want to entertain the fine folks. Is that what you've been doing this whole time? Oh, here we go.
Bonnie Blue asked, was all the equipment okay when you got home? That shadow person had to draw energy from some. We had a battery drain on the camera, and we had flashlight malfunctions, which was weird. I had a headlamp malfunction. Everything's working fine, and the batteries seem like they're charging. So it's not like the handful of times before where we've had such weird equipment drain that that things aren't usable anymore. Everything seems like it's okay. It was just drained the camera battery, especially. And I wish I had one of them in here right now to show you, but I used oversized.
Sorry, I know you keep hearing me.
I use oversized camcorder batteries on my camcorder, so that way I don't have to change them out so often. And for that to get drained or that to go dead that quickly, that's nuts, man. That's nuts. It seems okay. I mean, on that one live stream that we tried to do in the mountains that time, and then at Station 16, we had battery drain that was so bad that the batteries were not usable afterwards. This time does not seem like that. Now, the other thing too is we were catching a constant low level, reading on our tri-field meter. And somebody had made a comment going, well, there was running water there, and running water can give a low level EMF reading. And I'm going, there's running water all over the place. There's some of those buildings have like running water like right next to them. In one case, even underneath it. We didn't get that anywhere other than the building where we saw the shadow figure.
The cabin.
The cabin, yeah, that Jesse likes to call it. And that where we caught that man's voice. We didn't get that low level reading. We got a little bit in the one barn area where we got some weird knocking and whatnot, but the most consistent equipment readings were in the building where we got the most consistent activity and evidence out of. So let's see what else we've got here.
I'm ready to go if you're ready. You ready?
Yeah, knock yourself.
Are we ready?
Are we ready?
All right, guys. So first of all, we're gonna pull up. This is the video. I'm gonna add it on here right now, just so you can see its lovely face. Oh, look at that! Isn't that charming? Just charming.
I guess our faces are both just very expressive because every time we try to
get a screen
stop on something, it's just one of us has got like one eye open, our mouth stretched.
I look like I'm thinking, oh God, those lemons were great.
Yeah.
So this is from the video. This is that segment from the video. So everything's going to be just as it was in Ghosts of Appalachia, and then we'll break it down. So readings on this right now. Oh, I just got a 2.
We're on the full spectrum camera.
Yeah, do it. Why not? Upon reviewing the footage, we discovered that we had captured a dark shadow figure quickly moving between me and the camera, from right to left. This is the footage at regular speed. This is the footage slowed to 25%. The sound is weird when it goes by during this.
It's so weird, man.
And this is the footage frame by frame. You can clearly see the unknown black mass pass directly in front of me and move to the left side of the cabin.
There's even motion blur with it. All right, we're on full spectrum.
All right. Yeah, so that was it from the video from Ghosts of Appalachia.
Play that one more time.
You're right, there is motion blur in there.
Play that one more time.
And what's cool about this is when I pull up these, up, we'll be able to zoom in. I failed. But we'll be able to zoom in on everything and actually get a little look at it. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage. Readings on this right now. Oh, I just got a 2.
We're on the full spectrum camera.
Yeah, do it. Why not? Upon reviewing the footage, we discovered that we had captured a dark shadow figure quickly moving between me and the camera, from right to left. This is the footage at regular speed. This is the footage slowed to 25%. And this is the footage, frame by frame. You can clearly see the unknown black mass pass directly in front of me and move to the left side of the cabin.
All right, rolling on the full spectrum.
All right.
We still don't know what that sound is when it's slowed down to
That's what it sounds like.
The other thing too that I just thought of sitting here watching that again for the second time is, where was it moving towards?
You.
It was moving towards me.
And then shortly after that, your nose started bleeding.
Yeah.
Now, here's what's interesting. This is the series of events that occurred. You saw the shadow figure outside the door. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then the camera shuts off. Okay, because the battery is dying. Mm-hmm. The camera didn't shut off. We shut the camera off, but the battery,
because we had to save the clip. We were going to lose all that footage.
Yeah. So the battery.
If the battery goes dead while the camera's recording,
we lose the footage.
You sometimes lose the footage on it. So that's why we're so quick to turn it off.
We shut the camera off because of battery drain. So you see the figure. We have insane battery drain. We turn the camera off. We leave the audio running because that's two separate things. Thank goodness. I get a peak of 25 on the tri-field. Mm-hmm. Then we get the camera back on. We set it up. And then this thing passes by. And then you get a nosebleed. Mm-hmm. That series of events is terrifying to me. That obviously whatever this is able to interact with us and interact with the environment. Yeah. This is something that is very powerful. It's very strong. It seems like it gains energy from possibly us or our equipment based on the battery drain and the way that it manifested. It manifested after that battery drain. You could actually see it pass by me.
Well, after what's crazy is that I'm behind the cameras at Jesse, because we were getting ready to start running instrumentation, and Jesse was going to give a little, exposition on what was going on at this point, and we'll do that throughout our videos. We'll just go, all right, so let's stop and kind of like say what's going on for posterity's sake. So that way we can kind of like fill everybody in when we actually go to release this video. And in that cabin, the door is wedged halfway open, and it opens into the inside of the building. The floorboards have warped, so it's just stuck there. And I was complaining about that constantly because my back was to it, and I kept telling Jesse, I just feel very vulnerable here right now for some reason. I was like, and I don't want to break this door because it's a historic building. And we had a lot of people say that, the roof was in really good condition on that building. Yeah, it's an old building. That whole settlement area, like a few years ago, they started kind of fixing it up. I guess because it's a historical, significance.
Well, it's part of the national forest as well.
Yeah, and then they just stopped. That's why the first part, there's like a new roof on it. They fixed some of the supports, and then you go deeper in, and the buildings are just crumbling. They just stopped. It just looked like they stopped one day and never came back. And it could have been something as simple as a budget cut. Maybe they ran out of money and then never came back to it. I don't know. But they just stopped halfway in the middle of the project. And then
they were thwarted by the static man.
I don't know. So
Black static man.
I'm standing there with my back to it, and I keep looking over my shoulder because I'm just going, God, I hate this. I don't know where to stand at in this building. There's the door halfway open that you have to like fight your way through. There's a hole in one of the walls that's not quite big enough to get through, but it's big enough for something to grab you through. And then there's that window that's pretty high up that, you'd land on a bunch, but you're very exposed in there while still having your vision kind of curtailed. It's uncomfortable. So I turned around and looked at it. And what's weird is that I turned around and looked at it, and I've got a headlamp that sticks forward a little bit from my head. It's extremely bright. So none of me is silhouetted by the headlamp. The headlamp is forward of my entire body, and it just hits this thing, and it's there. And I just literally had a split second of going, just shocked by what I was seeing. I didn't react. I didn't do anything. I was just shocked. And generally I'm pretty reactive to stuff when it happens. And I didn't even really, I just went, Jesus, and that's all I could get out. Mm-hmm. And then it wasn't until Jesse goes, I just got a spike on this. I'm like, you mean you just got a spike on this when I just saw a black figure? It said, Jesus. and it just was there 1 second and it wasn't. I mean, I didn't see it really disappear. It didn't move off to either side. It was just there and then gone. And it was just the weirdest thing, man. And I'm just going, and I was off kilter for the rest of the investigation. I don't think I ever regained my balance for the rest of that.
No, you were a tad messed up after that. Through the whole investigation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I've got the stills up. I do have some
Suji wants to know
starred comments.
What's that
here.
weird sound? And then I don't know.
The clicking is the tri-field meter.
Oh, okay, that's slowed down. But what's the?
We don't know what that is.
Because I don't hear anything.
The
when
clicking
it's playing
is the
normal
tri-field.
speed. I don't hear anything.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a whoa. I don't know. It's very bizarre. It's very bizarre.
Way the Sploot asked, I get being driven to exit the area. Do you think that entities can cause intentional physical harm? Yes.
It seems like it can interact with its environment physically. It made your nose bleed. So well, I guess I'm jumping to conclusion. I'm sorry. Sorry to say that. But
it was odd timing. I've never gotten a nosebleed like that before. It was very odd timing. I think they're connected, but I can't prove that they were connected. But I'm pretty damn sure I felt that they were connected. But I can't say, I mean, I don't know. That's like if maybe like at that exact moment, a floorboard had broken underneath me and I fell into the, the space under the building. Would that be connected? The timing's pretty damn weird, but Gary Duncan, new member, 72 years old. Definitely not laughing at you. Love the content. Retired police officer. Maybe one day soon I'll share my very real something that happened to me in the woods 30 years ago.
A very real something.
A very real something. Welcome to the channel.
Welcome, Gary.
All
we
right.
always appreciate a Gary.
We do love a good Gary.
We like a good Gary. I hope you're a good Gary. I've got some more stuff marked on there if you want to.
Death Wish became a channel.
Death Wish.
Well, welcome to the channel, Death Wish. And then Simply Mark, thank you for that. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Cynthia, a bit out on left field, but could that shadow figure possibly be the outline or cloaking of a Bigfoot? And
Miranda Crew also had a similar question to that. Could this be something else? Could this be a Bigfoot? She actually followed up with, do you think it was a cloaked entity or maybe a cryptid being? So both along the same lines.
I don't know. I mean, I have no clue. I didn't get, when I saw it and then like thinking about it afterwards and even thinking about it now, I never thought Bigfoot. I just thought I caught something that.
Yeah, I didn't get any sort of Bigfoot vibe. And also
static, the black static is what's so weird.
Yeah, and this is completely different than anything that we've suspected to be Bigfoot activity. Yeah. It felt different. It seemed different. Everything that happened.
When you add in the human voice, the man's voice that we caught later on, when you take all of that in totality, I don't think so. I mean, I can't, who knows, man? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. That's not the impression that I've got. And that's not the assumption that I'm working under, is that it wasn't, that it was something else. Yeah. I don't know. Something made out of black static. So. And
it seems like anything we've seen that we could, I don't know. You never know. Again, this is all conjecture at this point. We don't have any solid information. We're getting information. This is getting information. This is like establishing something. Mm-hmm. We actually caught something, a physical manifestation of some kind.
Well, and the static was like more condensed when I saw it. And I think that it was like more dispersed when it ran past that camera. But here's the thing. We're using a really good camera. And it's set on, there's like a low light setting that I had it set on.
Yeah.
And we're in 4 mostly walls. There's some gaps in them, the door open, the holes in the wall. But we had light. We had a lot of white light in there. And we had infrared and ultraviolet light going at the same time. Now, that camera was set in regular mode, so it's not really picking up on the ultraviolet or the UV light. But here's the deal. We didn't see that. The thing went right in front of Jessie and she didn't see it. It seems like as fast as it was going, you should have seen it. Unless maybe you blinked or something. I don't know.
I got a blink. And then also I'm looking down at the equipment. We're in a heightened state. I'm not going to notice every little thing that happens because sometimes we catch stuff on the third, fourth viewing of the video. Thank God we have so many cameras going and so much audio going, because otherwise, think about the things we've missed over the years. You know, people are asking me to play it again. I have
play it again because there was actually something here.
Tammy had one. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's Tammy has to play the sound again and listen. It almost sounds like a scream.
Were you about to click that too?
No, I meant to click that and I clicked the wrong one.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. I got you, boo. All right.
All right. So
it automatically plays. Just give the captain a moment to drive the ship. There you go. All right, let's check this out. Now the clicking you hear, that is the tri-field meter. So when it goes down to the 25%, I hear like a weird noise. And somebody said to pay attention to the window behind me. I'm going to take a look at that while it goes on too. So let's get this, roll this beautiful bean footage and check this out. Readings on this right now. Oh, I just got a 2.
We're on the full spectrum camera.
Yeah, do it. Why not? Upon reviewing the footage, we discovered that we had captured a dark shadow figure quickly moving between me and the camera from right to left. This is the footage at regular speed. This is the footage slowed to 25%. And this is the footage frame by frame. You can clearly see the unknown black mass pass directly in front of me.
All right, so play it one more time.
Yeah.
Let's get the brain trust on it here. Let's listen to it very carefully when it runs past you at normal speed and see what. Because again, keep in mind, we saw that thing like literally 3, 4 probably about 4:30 in the morning at that point. By the time we saw it, and then Jesse was like, "I've got to include this in the video because it's so easy to miss it if you blink, but it's so important." So we had to, Jesse had to pull the old video down, the video that was going to launch that night, re-edit it, re-upload it, do all that stuff, wizardry stuff that she does to make this stuff happen. So we haven't really had a chance to sit down and dissect it beyond just staring at it in amazement. So play it at regular speed and let's listen and see what we hear. Okay. It's on this right now. Oh, I just got a 2. We're on the full spectrum camera. Yeah, do it. Why not? Boom. Upon reviewing the footage, we discovered that we had captured a dark shadow figure quickly moving between me and the camera from right to left. This is the footage at regular speed. This is the footage slowed to 25%. And this is the footage. So to me, it sounds like a growling. That's weird.
Like a deep guttural growl in a way.
Judy Smooth just said the exact same thing. It's growling.
Yeah. So yeah, it's disturbing. It's disturbing. If you'll take a look at the chat, I'm going to go ahead and let's take a look at some of these stills from this as well. And we'll take a look at that and see if we can notice or glean anything just by looking at.
Kim Drescher's on the same thing that I am. I'm having a hard time reading tonight. I don't know. I can't help but think it's multi-dimensionally inspired. When I looked at it and it was the blacks, I didn't think ghostly spirit when I saw it. I was just like, this is something from somewhere else. This is something from somewhere else that's just here for a couple of seconds and then gone. And then how does that tie in with the man's voice? And if you listen to that man's voice, and Jesse will play that here in a bit, it sounds like it's got when I first heard it, I was just like, damn, it sounds like it's all Deadwood or something like that. That old TV show Deadwood. It's got an accent that you would think would be in keeping with the age of the building. But at the same token, I'm not a big believer in like human ghosts, like human spirits being, I have a hard time with that. But then I'm going, well, maybe whatever this energy, maybe whatever this entity is, there haven't really been a lot of people in that area since the settlement was gone. Maybe it's portraying itself in a manner consistent with the humans who were there at that time, because that's what it's used to. And it saw somebody like, wearing like, clothes that were in good condition, and and I mean, I was dirty at that point, but but still everything's in like good condition, and maybe it was just that's why it called me City Boy.
It sensed your literacy.
It sensed. Jesus Lord.
Oh, I've got some stuff. We're gonna go through. This chat is flying. I'm gonna try to mark some of this stuff. Do have a little thing about we did reach 30,000 subscribers. A couple of you congratulate us on that. We did hit that.
Yeah.
We hit that. But if you'll go through some of the chat in a second, I'm gonna pull up.
Julie B had just said that. So
30,000
subscribers.
Thank you. Let's take a look at this frame by frame.
Okay.
I have 10 frames here, and we'll look at them in sequential order, and we can back up, go forward, whatever you guys want to do, and take a look at them. And we can kind of sit on them a little longer than I did on the video. I couldn't leave it on there too long. We, for brevity's sake, we had a lot to do and a lot to get to with that. So let's do it here. Take a look here. This is, we'll zoom in. Look at that. The future is now, baby. All right. Let's take a look at this. How's that look in the frame? Nice. All right. Let's take a look at this. This is the first frame. So can you see my cursor? You
I can see your cursor.
Perfect.
Yes.
So it's going to come from over here on the right side of your screen. It's currently not in the frame whatsoever. It's going to come from the right side. Moving on to frame number 2. We'll just have to keep it at this size, I guess. Maybe. It's starting to come in right here. You can start to see a dark, you can see the darkness coming in there. All right, we're on frame 3. Oh, it's already here. There it is. I was going too slow. All right, let's try this again. I'm great at this, aren't I? All right. There. It's there.
Oh, yeah.
You can see it moving. We can kind of go through quicker, and then I'll go through slower. That way you can really see it. And then completely out by frame 9. So it is in there. See it going backwards. Frame 1 is where it enters, and then all the way up to frame 9. So we'll go through a little quicker so you can see the motion. And then we'll go backwards so you can see it go backwards. So that's what we're looking at here with this. I think the best one, and I'll take a look here. This is when it's right over top of me. Maybe because I'm so pale, let's zoom in when it's right over top of me. We can take a look at it. Yeah, because you can see, look at when you say black static.
Black dots.
Look at the black dots all the way around through
Mhm.
here, around there.
It's not it's not like I
look at that. You can see where it ends.
Exactly. And it's not like I ran my hand over like a flashlight and
Look
it caused
at
like and the dots were more compact in the shape of a person.
It's not here. It's in, there it is.
Well,
that's it.
Scroll down a little bit. Well, you're looking down. That's why you didn't see it.
I know,
I'm
I
looking
told
at the
you.
door.
I'm looking at this dang thing.
And I'm looking, somebody had asked
tripod's
about the
acting
full
crazy.
spectrum camera, but the full spectrum camera, after I turned it on, I turned back around to look at the door
I
because
think
I'm
you
waiting for something to happen there.
Because
and
I was
hopefully-
looking through that and I
Yeah.
didn't get any of this.
It's like a
frame or
bunch
this
of,
footage.
it's like the dots and static.
Look at this here.
Yeah.
Look, that's where it's real thick.
And the dots were, the static was like close together in the shape of a person.
Yeah.
And then now they're more dispersed, but it still
So
forms
look,
an outline.
so this is frame 5. This is where, look at that. That is wild. Because look how
Yeah,
thick it is here.
it's dispersed itself.
But look.
And then it can gather itself together. I'm talking out of my ass right now. I mean, but I'm watching this right now going, yeah, it was more compact. It was just all these little dots like static in the shape of a person, all black. And then,
but look here, you can see the shape of it clearly because you don't have that dottage here, and then it's right here in the shape of whatever this is.
take it back over top of you again.
Okay, so we're gonna go back. Probably frame 4. It's over top of me.
You can see it through your chest rig even.
Yeah.
It's literally just gone past you. And
So frame 3, it's here. Frame 4, it's moving fast. Yeah. So frame 4 is one where it's right over top of me. Look at my hat. Take a little look at my hat there. Look how thick.
Jeez, man.
the static. I guess we'll just call it static. Look how thick it is right
Black
over my
static,
hand. The black
yeah.
static, because that's exactly what it is. I mean, that's what it looks like. But let's go forward here, and then by frame 10, it's out of the frame. We'll go backwards here. You see it coming backwards. That's crazy. And then we'll go back forward again. So, yeah. I don't know. What are we thinking about that? What are we thinking about what's going on with that?
I have no clue.
I'm going to check the chat and see what you guys think.
no
I was
clue.
looking at that, so I couldn't see what you guys were saying.
But I mean, I'm telling you right now that what I saw, lots of black dots just going static, but black, pitch black static. And my headlamp hit it. And just like you're seeing right here, it's like it doesn't reflect the light. It didn't reflect the light when it went in front of you. You see no reflection. It's not a solid. It's going to be a weird analogy. If there was like a swarm of black flies going in front of you, you would see shadows on you because there's a light on top of the camera. You'd see shadows on you, which you don't see. And you'd also see variations in them because different parts are going to catch the light better than others do. This is just black static.
Yeah.
And again, compressed together in the shape of a person. And then maybe that's how it disappeared. Maybe it just dispersed. And I was too shocked to really process what was going on. I was already having a hard time processing that this thing was like
when it was in the doorway is what you're talking about, the time
2 feet 3 feet behind me the whole time, and then I just turned around and I'm like, there it is. I mean, I don't know, man.
Bonnie Blue McGee has a good point here. There was a growl on the audio you got too, right?
That's wild.
So this is almost it's almost man-like, but then bestial at the same time.
Yeah. Thank you, Dark Side Harley Girl. According to my research, if you experience paranormal activity, a nosebleed is common. That's never happened to me before. I've never had a spontaneous nosebleed before. It's I don't know. I don't know. I'm having a hard time just going. I want to say it was related, but I can't definitively prove that. I can prove what I saw now because we just got it shortly after that on the camera.
Yeah.
To me, that's complete validation of what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say that the nosebleed portion of it was the same thing, though. All right. Ronald Russell, would an insect flying close to the light source cause a shadow effect? I think we just debunked that by going frame by frame and seeing all the little dots about it.
Yeah.
Michael Tovar, thinking about going back, we were dead set up against going back. But the more we've looked at it, curiosity is just killing us at this point.
I think we need a break. Maybe.
Oh, definitely. Because, I mean, Spunky Sparky basically said the same thing. You were both definitely off. So I'm not surprised you didn't notice it. Before we caught the audio evidence and then saw this black mass thing, whatever it is, this black static, we were going, I don't even know if I want to release this because we're so off balance. We look like fools because we kept thinking something was watching us. We kept thinking something was right there. I saw something, but we didn't have anything to back it up. Mm-hmm. It's just going to make us look like we're fumbling through the woods, which is usually not our MO. And then when we saw this stuff, we were just going, this is validation. We were right to feel the way we were feeling.
Yeah.
We were right and constantly just going, I just feel stuff's all around me because guess what? There's a damn good chance that it was. So.
Wichita Oki said it moved exactly when I looked down.
Yeah, and then Cryptic Castleberry, to me, it looked like it was floating.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Instead of walking, and it did. It looked like it was just like a rush.
So fast.
Yeah.
I mean, the speed at which that thing went by, a normal speed, just looking at it. But, you know, that's another thing, too. I was recently listening to the Micah Hanks program, and huge Micah Hanks fan. And I'm listening to a program he did around Halloween, and I'm trying to catch up on all my Halloween stuff because we were so busy with Hellbent Halloween. I missed a lot of stuff. He did an episode on time, and he talked a lot about the Lovecraftian vision of time and how these creatures and these entities, these ancient entities, interact with time and how they make their way and move through time, that they do it in a different way.
Mm-hmm. That would be the same thing could be true for interdimensional non-human intelligence at this point. So.
That maybe they're not, it moves so fast to us that we would miss it in the blink of an eye. But that is the speed at which it moves. Maybe it interacts with our time and the speed differently. You know,
People are saying they're seeing eyes in the window area behind you.
oh geez, at what point? I have the
Well, I mean, the clip's not that long.
well,
so,
I have the I have
yeah.
the stills. We can see. I'm looking through the stills right now. That's why I don't know. I'm not seeing anything in particular on the stills, but I mean, could be. I'll have to take a look at that a little closer on my editing software and see if I see anything. I see a little bit of a gleam on the stills, but nothing that says eye shine to me. Where are we at?
I'm just going through the chat here. Everybody's got some great, man. This is why.
Yeah. Moondog says black pixel.
Black pixel. I don't know. That's just not in my, I'm rubbing my face. So we went into this area because this is in a weird area. It's a weird set of structures in a weird area. And there's a lot of weird stuff that's taking place around there. But we went there because we wanted to shoot some stuff for Halloween. So that's why we took the ghost stuff. You know, we took the spirit box and everything like that. So we went in there kind of mentally conditioned for ghost stuff. Now, we were also prepared because there have been very large canine prints found in that area. But I didn't go in prepared for black static figures or to have my nose start gushing blood because it was worse than that. I don't want myself covered in blood on video. So a lot of that didn't make it in. I held my hand up at one point because I even went, I'm not including this. I did have the presence of mind for that. I was like, I'm not including, just let me hold up a little bit after I kind of wiped it off. But I just, I was bleeding pretty bad. And we weren't prepared for any of that. And then we weren't prepared for just the constant, it's like the feeling of, and at the time I was thinking it's because whatever that thing was in the doorway was right behind me. And I don't know how long it had been there for until I turned around and saw it. Then luckily I had my headlamp on, so it illuminated everything. So it took all of the question of whether it was there or just a trick of my eyes out at the time. But we just had this constant feeling that something's like right there, something's like right behind us, something's like over here, something's over there. And it just was overwhelming at that point that we didn't know where to focus at. And we're hearing sounds in this direction, and we've dealt with the sound thing. You go in this direction, now it's behind you. You move back that way, and now it's to your left.
What did I say? I feel like we're chasing. What are we supposed to do? Keep chasing phantoms.
Yeah. But we've never had the feeling of it just felt like there was a giant like rock over top of you that was just going to come loose and crush you at any moment. And you're just constantly waiting for it to happen. Just this feeling of bad anticipation that something bad was getting ready to happen at any given moment. And that's why when we heard the audio evidence and then we saw that, we were just like, we were justified. We were paying attention to what our instincts were telling us, and our instincts were right. There was stuff around us. Yeah, Moondog says it's absorbing light.
He said it's made of darkness. Oof. That's some banana stuff. Going bananas.
Everybody's asking if we're planning on going back.
Yeah. And I've got some stuff started too.
Okay.
Revisit the place. I don't know. We are going to. We say, oh no, I think 2 days ago we were like, no. And then today we're like, yes.
Cola Wolf had said, how can a person have a defense against something you can't even see when it's right there in your presence? I mean, I saw it when it was condensed into a person shape, but like I said, man, I mean, we do this a lot. We've gone into some weird stuff. We've seen some weird stuff. And I think that the longer we do this, the better our reaction time gets to some of this stuff. I had I literally just froze. And if it wanted to do something to me, it could have done something to me right at that moment. I didn't even, I just went, and I didn't even yell. I mean, you could kind of hear my voice. I just went, Jesus, I sounded defeated almost. I don't know. It was weird. It was so overwhelming. But Lauren G asked if somebody saw an orb that appears above Jesse's left shoulder traveling from the bottom.
A couple people mentioned this. Yeah. I'll have to take a look at that too. You don't know. We are in a building that's
Simply Mark said the same thing. Thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah.
At 37:27 onward, an orb enters and leaves Jesse.
Oh gosh.
Thank you for that, Curtis. We greatly appreciate it.
37:27. Let me take a look at
You have to
that.
spend that on orb and static defensive methods. Thank you for that.
You know, we
Curtis.
just kind of started out looking for Bigfoot. You remember
I just
that?
that's the thing is that yeah, man. I wanted to look for Bigfoot. I don't want to deal with like black static stuff. But at the same token, you're looking for high strangeness. And when you find it, I mean, it's not like we have any say in what we're going to experience, if we're going to experience anything at all. So
yeah. Ghetto Yeti said
gray aliens, I should be able to move extremely fast like that. But gray aliens, if we had seen a gray alien shape, quite honestly, I'd be even more terrified than I am right now.
I'm really scared of aliens.
I'm really terrified about that.
Yeah.
People go when we saw that burning light, that portal or that orb or that, it wasn't an orb, it was too big, that portal opening up and there's figures with it, or a UAP or whatever it was, and I wanted nothing to do with it. I draw a line there, man. I draw a line. I ran after stuff that I've seen before, but like alien grays, freaking fire in the sky did a number on me when I was a kid, man.
It was horrific.
It's like Jaws. I don't want anything to do with that. So.
Joanne Hartnett said you didn't have the infrared going. Joe had the full spectrum camera in his hand, but he was turned away when
to the doorway where I'd seen it.
Now the camera that we actually caught this on is we do white light, which you see for this video here. It's in white light like this. That's the exact same camera that we use for the infrared for the night vision with the green. You just hit a button and it goes to night vision. So you can't simultaneously record in night vision and in regular white light. So yeah, I mean, we're lucky we got what we got, but he had the full spectrum on in his hand and he turned because he was checking out the door. I guess you were looking for the thing.
Well, no, because I kept looking because now I already felt uncomfortable.
You had already seen it.
And I even said that earlier. I was like, I don't know where to stand at. I mean, there's nowhere where I feel good standing in here. And then I was just turning around going, if I see it again, I want to be able to catch it, And little did I know that it was behind me yet again at that point. So, all right.
This is nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
And it scares me to look at this stuff because it scares me to hear that EVP. That was terrifying. And then you place it with this. You kind of put all of these things together, all of this evidence together, and it's scary because we didn't even know the extent of what we were experiencing or what was happening around us out there when we were out there in the middle of it.
Gone Girl Gone. I was in a paranormal group, and what you guys are experiencing and what I experienced is nothing like I did when I was with the group. Not ghosts. This is something far more.
Oh God.
I did not come away with that going, even after I heard that voice, I did not say, oh, this is the spirit of somebody who died in the 1800s. I came away going, something is interacting with us vocally. It has adopted the mannerisms of the last group of people that were there. And that's how it's expressing itself. I think that a lot of these phenomena are malleable and they can change themselves depending upon who they expect to interact with. And I don't know. It's weird. It's just so weird.
There's an interesting one from Jay Gerd. He says, what are your thoughts on YouTubers bringing those boxes they bought off the deep web and opening them in the woods?
I have no clue.
I didn't know that was a thing.
What boxes are they buying off? Wait, are they talking about the Dybbuk boxes? So,
but you don't know where they're coming from. You don't know, you don't know where they're coming from. You don't know if there's any sort of like real phenomenon going on with it. That's the problem too with a lot of this TikTok stuff too. A lot of that feral people thing got really drummed up, like really whipped up. I think that there is a situation of possible feral people out in these remote areas, but I don't think it's as prevalent as TikTok.
And I don't think they're like mutants coming out of caves. They might be, but I just think that a lot of those are people that have just been
checked out
back in there for like maybe 2 or 3 generations.
Yeah. So you have to kind of look at some of this with a discerning eye when there's like when there's stunts involved. I guess me doing my Estes session in that cemetery was a bit of a stunt.
Yeah, exactly. So
I do my own stunts. Oh, yeah, that was the introduction. That Estes session was in the Devil's Graveyard. That was That was me introducing you guys to where my contact experiment is right now.
Death Wish, did you hear the footsteps from the video I sent you? If you sent it via text, probably not. My texts are still barely working. Although I got a big batch right as I sat down when our friend Katie texted me. That's when Deuster's text came through. So it might did. I'll check when I get off here.
Oh, geez, this is freaky. JD Smooth said, Joe, did you touch anything with your bloody hands in that
Oh,
place?
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you left your
I
DNA
bled all
all
over the
over.
floor, blood everywhere. So, yeah, I mean, I left blood there. So
Did you get Curtis Whitaker's super sticker?
I did.
Oh,
I did.
thank you,
But
Curtis.
you can thank him again.
So
Laura.
nice. Well, thank you twice.
So
Trying to catch up. I know we're mega
Samantha
behind.
Davenport, I don't think they know what they're dealing with. I don't think anybody knows what we're dealing with. And I think that if anybody told me that they did, I wouldn't believe them. So I would think that that would be self-aggrandizing. I don't think that I think we're in uncharted territory with pretty much all of this, definitely with where I am right now. So, all right, let's see what else we got here. Michael Tovar, thank you for that, sir. Thanks, Jesse and Joe. Last week's episodes were epic. You won't see me here, lol. I would like to say that about us, but you probably will see us back in there yet again. So, Rick Skinner, thank you. What if it was not between the camera and Jesse, but went through the camera sensor?
I don't like into my camera.
I don't know if it went. If it was something immaterial that went through the camera sensor, that means that it would have to.
Like a little tiny thing.
Yeah, but even then, I don't know. That's a good point, Rick. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. So
I think we're all spitballing here.
Yeah.
Because none of us know anything about this.
Yeah.
We just kind of get these wild pieces of footage and audio and just go, okay, so what is this?
Yeah, exactly. So did my comments just freeze up? Tree Slayer says that was a whippoorwill. That was not a whippoorwill.
I don't think it was.
We may have caught a whippoorwill on.
Somebody else said that, but that was.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't sound like that
Whippoorwill
when we were out there. But maybe. I didn't lay eyes on what it was, so I can't say for sure. It's just not a Class A screaming entity sighting.
All right.
Dang, we are down here.
I know, man. Everybody's going crazy with this. Listen, we're going crazy with this. Before we get too much deeper into this, do you want to play the audio that we caught?
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear the raw footage with the whole clip because we don't have it turned all the way up.
That's fine. Do you have what clips you have?
I have the pull. Shitty boy. Here you go. City boy cleaned up. That's what you want. Okay. Let us partake in this. It's just going to be like this. All right. Here you go. Ready, Freddie? All right. This is that audio of what we captured on that second round of the drop recorder in the cabin. We're going to play this if you guys want to take a little listen here. I've got the volume all the way up, so we'll see how it goes. It's pretty wild.
It's pretty wild. That is the audio that we caught on the drop recorder that we left in that same cabin where we saw the black static figure at. Jesse, if you remember in the video, she spins around at one point. Was that you? Was that you? And I'm like, what? And she goes, I just heard something go, rah.
Yeah.
And then when we synced everything up at the same time, we caught a rah on the one audio recorder. And then I heard a voice right before the rah. And it either says, come here, city boy, or here, city boy. And then it just goes, rah. People were asking, do you think it's two separate things? And I'm like, my gut response is, it's the same thing. It's acting human for a second, and then the mask drops off, and kind of like what it really is kind of revealed with that rah. Thank you for this 86. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Joanne Harnett, do you think if you do something like this again, you'll start to experience the same effect? Would you do something differently? we'll be, even if we see this thing again, we'll be a little bit more prepared for it.
So I
As
do
much as you can be
have-
prepared for something that's completely outside of your notion of what reality is. So
Yeah. I think I have the one I edited where I punched it up. Yeah, I think
Alright.
this is it. Yeah, so let's try that one out. Let's give that a go. This is the one that I kind of toyed with to kind of enhance a little bit. It's going to be a loop of it's going to loop 3 times. The first loop is going to be the original audio, and the second 2 are going to be my enhanced versions. That's wild.
That's
You can
wild.
hear City
play
Boy.
it one more time.
Yeah. Initial one is going to be the original. The second 2 are my turned up little enhanced versions. All right, everybody listen. Silence.
And even the cadence of the voice, it's like,
Here's City Boy.
here's City Boy. You know, it's mocking almost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So absolutely wild. Thank you for that, Professor Geek. Have you guys ever considered writing a book about your experiences? When we get too old to do this, we probably will.
I'm probably going to write a book on my contact project. It's going to take me a couple years to do it because I've got to really explore all of these contact modalities. But my plan is to write a book on this. That's going to be a bit of a tome because I'm going to include kind of a description of all these and then all of my experiments with them.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see what else we've got.
Where are you at?
I'm at the bottom. I'm caught up. I'm doing my job.
You got 86 super sticker?
Yeah, got that. So
well, you are caught up. Look at you, gold star.
Hey, it's not a growl, it's a growl. I guess you could call that a growl, but it seemed more like a snarl or something. I don't know.
I think it sounds like somebody just, if somebody's gonna like fight you and they just kind of do this, this
that's
fake out thing. That's what it seems like to me. Kind of where they do that thing, a lunging
Night, Lady Wolf.
expression.
We're cutting in a few minutes here too. We're probably not going to go to the full 9 o'clock hour.
We've got a lot to do.
We've got a lot of stuff we've got to get done. We're
back at it.
We're back at it. We are back at it.
Yeah. I'm actually going to do last call in a minute. That way we can kind of start wrapping it up here. But I really wanted to kind of go over this stuff kind of in depth. Oh, geez. Did you see Not Today, Saban?
Mm-mm.
I see shadow beings, and I immediately think of the phenomena of transposition in a world of parallel realms. Transposition is logical.
Mm-hmm.
Struggled my way through that one. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna do a last call on this. It's been a long day. We got a lot of work to do. We got some cool stuff planned. We're working on our plans for Christmas too, everybody. So that should be fun.
You mean the holidays?
Happy holidays.
Good Lordy.
I gotta order a Mrs. Claus outfit.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, we're working on a big Christmas plan.
Because Christmas and traditionally
Christmas is
had a lot of like, if you want to call it, paranormal activity associated with it.
Mm-hmm.
Either from the Victorian era, which was a time to tell ghost stories, or further back than that, usually during the 12 days of Christmas is when the wild hunt would ride.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, so it's a very charged time of the year. So
yeah. Surviving the Strange. I wonder who will play Joe and Jesse in the inevitable movie about them.
Good Lord.
After after our disappearance.
Yeah, exactly. So Oki wanted to know, was that worse than Jesse in the Graveyard? Jesse in the Graveyard was really disturbing. That was very disturbing. When she heard turn around on the spirit box, basically just went, Jesus Christ, and then turned around. And then somebody had left a comment going, you shouldn't have turned around. It was trying to take your attention off of Jesse. And I'm going, I understand that, but at the same token,
who's not going to turn around?
You can't not turn around at that point.
Yeah, who's going to be like, nope.
Yeah.
This chick's on her own. I'm looking.
Moondog's got a good thing. the black static, black thing reminds him of gin stories from soldiers.
Yeah.
Huh.
Bizarre.
Very weird. All right, folks.
We're gonna wrap it up.
We're calling it.
Yeah, we got a whole list of stuff to do before we can call it an evening. We didn't do a knife check.
We didn't do a knife check.
I think somebody asked for one.
Carrying my fancy knife today.
Him's fancy knife.
I got a ZT, and I don't even know what the model is on this. It's been discontinued for a few years.
Hi.
Probably the smallest knife
What is mine?
that I carry. But it's just a nice little
Mine's an 0609.
titanium handled flipper. It's got a cool little blade shape. Jesse
I have
got
a
that
zero
for me for
tolerance.
Christmas.
Yeah, I have a zero tolerance as well. A ZT 0609 actually. And mine has a stone wash blade, and it's got these purple aluminum handles. I think that's beautiful. Double ZT day. Double ZT day. Joe got me this for Christmas. These are Christmas
Exactly.
ZTs.
Buy a lot of knives for the holidays in these areas, man. So in this neck of the woods. Anyway,
yeah.
Thank you all for joining us tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna get a little bite to eat and get back to work. I want to thank you guys for joining us for Hellbent Holler Live. Let us know if you're going to be going to CryptidCon. Our camera is there. It goes. Is it?
No, it went out of focus.
It is so out of focus.
So it begins at the home. So
it begins. All right, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for joining us. Make sure you join us next week. Keep an eye out. I might put out some more stuff. We've got a lot of little side jaunts that we've got that I can put out.
Keep your notifications on.
Keep your notifications on. We've got some stuff we want to get out in the next week or so that kind of goes back to face-to-face with the Appalachian Bigfoot. We return to the area and check out that spot during the day so you guys can get a real visualization about where that thermal image came from, where that thermal hit was getting from. So, all right, guys, thank you very much. We appreciate you very much. We'll send you out on some cool music as usual, but we appreciate you joining us tonight. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Be safe. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Goodbye.